Here's another bit of advice for those of you who prepare the SAT exam anywhere in the world. My market is Spain, United States, Israel, Japan. American kids typically memorize 2 or 3 trigonometry tables. They memorize the 90, 30, 60s and the 90, 45, 45 angles, triangles. They don't need to look at the trig tables to do it. They save time. For some reason in the US of A, those angles 90, 30, 60 or 90, 45, 45 seem to be romantic, and we memorize them as points of reference. In Spain, Italy, Japan, Israel, they don't do it. So that has always been a problem for those kids, because when the SAT exam started, there were questions always relating to those triangles, and the American kids instantly knew what to do, and the other kids had to go and look in the trig tables, those ridiculous things that look like Chinese. Well, in the new SAT exam, no more memorizing will be necessary. The angles that they will talk about on the new exam are not going to be 90, 30, 60 or 90, 45, 45. They'll be different ones. Okay, but all 3 angles always add up to 180. Okay? And if it's an equilateral triangle, just drop a line down, creating 2 90-degree triangles standing back to back. Because in the new SAT exam, they're going to make you think more. How do you use a computer? Think your way out of a problem. Okay? My classic problem, the one that I always like, is where the base of a triangle is 8, and some kid tells me that the other 2 sides could be 4 and 4. And I always think, how could that be? Because the 2 4s add up to 8. They would fall right down on the 8. Those 2 sides at the top have to be more than 8. Some kids even think that one of the sides of a triangle could be 0 or 1. I've seen kids say that on the SAT. They're just not thinking. They're responding like monkeys because they don't think. And the new SAT is going to get kids to think. So if you're preparing for it, I would like you to start preparing yourself. How could you get kids to think more, to solve the problem, to look at the problem, to draw it on a piece of paper with 5 different color pencils, to see the thing? Okay, when you have to find the distance between 2 points on a graph, you could use that ridiculously stupid distance formula. Or just connect the 2 points and then draw like a right triangle. Go straight down and straight across. Now you have a right triangle, and the hypotenuse is what you want to find. You know the base and you know the height. Just use Pythagoras and get the hypotenuse. That is thinking your way to the solution. The idiot way is just using the formula, because that's I remember a formula. I don't know why it works, but it works, and I'm going to plug it in and get the answer. Bullshit. That formula, excuse me, it works every time. And you need it with gigantic numbers, But when you're using simple numbers on an SAT, like maybe 1, 1 and 7, 9, you don't need it. So start getting your students to think about the problems and solve the problems, okay? And this message is going to all of you who prepare the SAT exam to solve the problems that we create.